Just cranking right along. Another day in pads, but the 14th or 15th practice. Certainly a lot to work on, and it's what we'll do.
What was your takeaway from yesterday? It looked like you guys were having trouble completing passes there for a while.
Yeah, practice. I mean, you always want to practice as good as you can. On the other hand, I said that was a good practice. I think the defense got a lot of ball disruption plays, knocked the balls out quite a bit, had a couple picks. So that's why you practice.
Obviously, Wink throws so much pressure at this offense, and that's well documented. At any point, do you have to ask him to dial back so you can get a better evaluation? You're not going to see that defense, too often during the season.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's good for an offense too to have to deal with that. I mean, however many plays in a row, it's still good. It makes you think, but I do think that's you want to do that at times, where you say, hey, give me 2 or 3, so every play isn't mental gymnastics of figuring out different things. But I think it's good to apply as much pressure because you're going to deal with it at some point. I mean, whether it's 20 plays in a row or you never know about that, but it's good for an offense to have to work through communication, and it's really good to sit back after the practice and go through it and really talk about some things that are issues at times.
Brian, when do you become concerned about days like yesterday? I know you're about process over scheme, but when you need to really start seeing, some results?
Well, no, that's why we practice. I mean, we're all about the process. So if you have a bad day, you regroup, you look at it, you talk about it. Obviously, you want to translate good things in practice to games. We're evaluating players right now. We're working through a lot of different schemes. That's not much different than the last 22 years I've been around, but you want to perform well when it counts the most, which is on game day.
How much input do you have with the defense? Because obviously, we assume you're talking to Mike all the time. He says that. Wink kind of comes in as like a established commodity. Like, you have as much hands-on?
No, I talk to both guys, yeah.
But I mean, just like in terms of the scheme stuff, like, you hands-on with that? You kind of say Wink's going to do his thing?
No, I have a lot of confidence in both those guys. If there's something that I see, whether it's the kicking game, defense, or offense, that's I give my input.
Coach, Colin Johnson has had a pretty good camp, had a pretty good preseason game. Can you talk about how he fits to what you and Mike are looking to do in offense?
Well, he's made the most of his opportunities. So, we've talked to these guys about earning it, and he's certainly earned it with his opportunities that he's gotten. If he does well, he'll get more opportunities. He's smart. He's got position flexibility in terms of intelligence, understanding the roster. He's made plays. He's done a nice job.
Brian, Jihad and Ellerson and John yesterday. How'd they come out of that?
They'll be okay. I mean, they probably won't go today, but they'll be all right.
How you doing on numbers? You're getting pretty short there in practice.
Yeah, we're down a little bit. Yeah, we're certainly down a little bit. I think we got 2 lines today offensively. So, again, those aren't long-lasting deals, but it's good for some of these other guys to get their chances too now.
Brian, what conversations have you had with Kenny Golladay about expectations that you have for him, and then what has he shown you? Has he lived up to those so far, and how he's practiced?
Yeah, I think all the players are the same for us, Pat. Their expectation is go out there, learn what to do, go out, do it as hard as they can do it, improve each day, and I think that's what Kenny's tried to do. I don't put a specific, the conversations I have with each player is private, but in general, that's our message to all the guys. But
kind of building off that, like with Kenny, what he's tasked to do within this offense is a little different than maybe what he did last year or in Detroit?
No, I don't know. I can't speak for Detroit or last year. We've moved him around. At times we've kind of locked in on a certain spot right now for him, and I think it just takes reps. It takes reps with quarterbacks and receivers, all of them. But he's done everything we asked him to do.
After the scrimmage game, offensively, how you feel engaged the offensive line going forward?
Are you talking about the preseason game?
Preseason game, yes.
I think those guys did a good job of communicating. Some of the guys on the second and third lines, they've only been here a few days, and I think that, again, Bobby, Tony did a good job getting them ready. They did themselves a good job of getting ready. You got to try to win the game up front, both sides. So, the first group, obviously Shane went down, but I think, the first group communicates well. They're working good. And the second group did a nice job as well, closing out that game and with 5 minutes left, whatever it may be. But, it's an important part of your team is the trenches.
Coach, speaking of guys who are getting opportunities, with offensive linemen down, what are you seeing from Devery Hamilton?
He played a lot of plays in that preseason game, and he competed really well. He has position flex. Today you'll see him inside at guard, so he can play tackle, he can play inside. Another smart guy that's doing everything we ask him to do.
I assume Ben Bredesen's going to be playing with the first team in some spot today, but
yeah, he'll be playing center. Yeah, center today.
What is it about him that you like?
Smart, tough, dependable. Very good communicator. I think he has good leadership skills. Was really good on the sideline the other night. Practices hard, out there every day. Guy you like to work with.
What do you mean by really good on the sideline?
So he's just a good communicator with his teammates, and he's a good communicator with Bobby. And I think when you have good communicators that, look, it wasn't all vanilla. There's certain things that are going on. When you're playing that position, you're playing a quarterback position, I think the more you can communicate with what you're seeing, because it's not always the same as what the coaches on the sideline are seeing that's going on, he does a good job with that.
Do you intend to give the ones playing time in the second preseason game as well?
I do, yeah. Now how much, we haven't got to that yet, but yeah.
Coach, what changes are you looking for ahead of Sunday's preseason game, improvements overall for the team?
Just keep grinding away, keep improving our fundamentals. It's going to be a big thing. I thought we improved a little bit on that yesterday, pass protection-wise with the backs, playing the deep ball with the defensive backfield. Again, you can't tackle, but I think we missed 6 tackles the first game. So, improvements fundamentally is the most important.
The third preseason game used to be the dress rehearsal when there were 4. So is that now the second game, and then usually the third is going to become the fourth? Is that sort of how it
not there yet. Not there yet relative to exactly how we're going to do it, but we'll have a plan.
Coach, you mentioned Colin Johnson. You were talking about Colin Johnson before. How much does that size, that 6'6" frame that he have, allow you to use him in different spots and kind of versatility that you were talking about before?
Yeah, it's not so much the size. I mean, it's his overall intelligence of being able to line up in multiple spots. Again, the ability to separate and get open is important, and then make plays on the football when he has an opportunity to.
2 more. Brian, just what have you seen from Daniel Bellinger just throughout camp and in the preseason game?
Much like a lot of the rookies, a lot to work on. We've thrown him in there, and he's played a lot of football for us. Still has a ways to go to learn a lot of the intricacies that you need to have in playing, but he's willing, he's smart, he's tough. So he's got good qualities to work with. We just got to keep working with him and improve him.
What are the biggest things you feel like he needs to work with, and have you seen him approach that?
Yeah. Well, I'd say the whole part, it's such a different game coming from where he is. We've asked him to do a lot of stuff. So just keep a good, positive mindset, learn from his coaches, and do a good job.
Coach, how have you been adjusting to the New York Giants culture?
Dre Patterson's back today. Probably won't be on the field, but was in the building. So it's good to have him back.
Have you been adjusting to the culture here and just connecting with the fans so far?
It's great. It's a great part of the country. I really like living here. I think the people in our building are fantastic. It's just it's a cool place to be.
Just a quick clarification. The 3 guys who got hurt yesterday, are you waiting on any additional tests on those guys, or none of them project as long-term?
We should be all right with those guys. Yep.